Hi, I'm Kevin Eikenberry, and I'm here to help you reach your potential as a leader and a human being. Welcome to Remarkable TV. Today, we're going to talk about coaching to attitude. It's an important topic. Are you ready? Well, today's question comes from Vivian in Texas, who asks me this. After having read something I wrote, she asks this question. At the end of your comments, Kevin, you said, quote, "We are really talking about behavior here, not attitude," end quote. My question is, isn't attitude really a form of behavior? I mean, I feel like a person's attitude is what makes them behave in a certain way. Aren't they one and the same? Well, Vivian, thanks for the question, and it's a good question, a common question, one that gets us in a lot of trouble, so let's talk about it. Let's start by talking about a negative or a bad attitude, which is probably what most people are thinking about right now. So let's say this. I say to you, Vivian, you've got a bad attitude, or something along those lines. One of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to disagree with me and be defensive, like, Kevin, I don't have a bad attitude, what are you talking about? And if that's where you're at, there's no chance my coaching is going to help. Or you're going to agree with me and justify it. Well, of course I have a bad attitude. Haven't you seen what's going on this team, etc., etc.? And in that case, nothing's going to happen. But see, so even if your supposition that they are the same were true, it wouldn't help us from a coaching perspective. But the reality is they're not the same anyway. I can look at you and your behavior and suppose your attitude, but what really matters is what are you actually doing. It's because it's the things that you're doing that are leading me to assume you have a good or bad attitude. So here's the reality. I look at you and through my filter I say you got a good or bad attitude, but the only way I can coach someone is when I know exactly, when they know exactly what the behavior is that they're exhibiting that's bothering me or causing a business problem. So if you say someone's got a bad attitude, the right question is what are the behaviors that are leading you to think that? Because it's the behaviors that you want to change, not the attitude underneath it. So yes, they're absolutely linked, and that's why you're feeling that way about them, Vivian, but the reality is that they're not the same. So if someone's got a, quote, bad attitude, what are they doing that's leading you to think that? Are they frowning? So then I can give someone feedback on, hey, I notice in meetings when someone makes a comment, you always frown. Now you may think of that as a bad attitude, but the reality is that behavior has a chance to be changed. The attitude, back to my original point, doesn't give us any shot. So even if they were the same, I don't believe they are, but even if they were, coaching to attitude doesn't going to work. What's going to work is coaching to behavior. What's the behavior that you're seeing that's leading you to call that a behavior? It's leading you to call that an attitude problem, and then coach to the behavior. What's the behavior that you're interpreting as attitude? And if you fix the behavior or they change their behavior, you get something new. Here's today's tweet. If you want to coach on attitude, coach on the behaviors you see, not the attitude you imply. You see, it's not just semantics, it's reality. It's the things that people are actually doing that we can coach them on. It's their behavior that we can help them improve, that we can help them change, and that will give them reasons internally to make that decision. Thanks again, Vivian, for your question. And if any of the rest of you watching have questions, you can send them in to me. Actually, you can send them into questions@kevineikenberry.com. If you found this idea helpful, you can subscribe to the channel below, or you can send a note to 3 friends inviting them to watch it as well. If that's the case, you win, they win, and I win as well, and I very much appreciate it. Thanks so much. So before you go, coaching is an important part of your role as a leader. If you want to work on your coaching skills, one of the ways to do that is by attending our highly engaging and interactive Remarkable Coaching Workshop. And I'd love to have you join me for that 2-day program. You can learn all about it and register by clicking on the link below.